Look at a photo of a snake, a real one, coiled and close, and watch what your body does before you decide anything. A small jolt, a tightening. Your eyes lock onto it before you have finished the thought that it is only a picture. You have probably never been bitten. The thing on the screen cannot touch you, and still some part of you reacts as if it could, in the half-second before reason arrives. That reaction is older than reason. It is older than your species, older than any fear you were ever taught. So why does a harmless image reach into you and pull every single time? The answer lives in a part of your brain that fires before you do. Here is what we tell ourselves about this. We call it a phobia, a quirk, something irrational to be talked out of. If snakes or spiders frighten you, the message is that you are being silly, overreacting to a creature that, statistically, will almost never hurt you. There are apps to cure it, therapists to walk you back from it, friends who hold up a jar and say, "See, it is harmless." And underneath it all is the assumption that the fear is a mistake, a bug in an otherwise rational mind. But there is a problem with calling it a bug. It is everywhere. Snakes and spiders sit at the very top of human fears, across every culture, including people who have never seen a wild one. Babies who have never met a snake will pick one out of a picture faster than almost anything else. A fear that universal and that early is not a personal flaw you happen to pick up. It is standard equipment. And to understand why you were issued it, you have to meet the alarm that goes off before you can think. When you see that snake, two things happen in your brain, and they do not happen at the same speed. The signal from your eyes splits and takes two roads. The slow road climbs up to the thinking part of the brain, the cortex, where it becomes a calm sentence. That is a snake, in a photo, behind glass, no danger here. But there is a faster road, a shortcut, that runs straight down to a small almond-shaped structure called the amygdala, the brain's threat alarm. That shortcut arrives first. Before the thinking part has even finished looking, the amygdala has already shouted danger and pulled the trigger. Your heart kicks, your muscles tense, your whole attention slams onto the shape. You flinch first and understand second. That is not weakness. That is the design. And the design is ancient. One leading idea, the snake detection theory, argues that the sharp, detailed vision primates are famous for was shaped in part by snakes themselves. For tens of millions of years, snakes were one of the few hunters that could kill a small primate without warning, hidden in the leaves, striking from arm's reach. The animals that could pick that deadly shape out of the clutter, fast, were the ones that lived to breed. So our eyes and our alarm grew up together, tuned to make one particular shape leap out of the background before we even know we are looking. You can watch this bias in people far too young to have learned it. The psychologist Vanessa LeBoux showed young children, and even infants, grids of pictures, and found they locate a snake among flowers faster than they find a flower among snakes. The threat shape grabs the eye on its own. In adults, Arne Oman ran the same kind of test and found we spot a snake or a spider in a crowd of harmless objects faster than the reverse, sometimes even when the image flashes by too quickly to consciously see. But the deepest clue comes from monkeys. Susan Manika raised monkeys in a lab who had never seen a snake, and they felt nothing when shown one. Then she let them watch another monkey react with fear. In a single lesson, the lab monkeys became afraid of snakes for the rest of their lives. And here is the twist. When she tried the very same trick with flowers, it simply would not take. The monkeys could be taught to fear a snake in one viewing, but never a flower, no matter what she did. We are not born terrified. We are born ready, primed to learn this one fear almost instantly, the way a child is primed to learn language. The snake only has to knock once. And the spider, with its own old shape and its own ancient venom, rides along on the very same wiring. So, if this alarm is so good, why does it feel like it is malfunctioning? Because the world it was built for is gone. Think about the math your ancestors lived inside. Miss a real snake in the grass, even once, and there might be no second chance, no children, no line carried forward. Jump at a stick that turned out to be nothing, and you lost a single startled second. When the cost of a miss is everything, and the cost of a false alarm is almost nothing, evolution does not build a careful, balanced detector. It builds one that screams first and checks later. One that would rather be wrong 100 times than stay silent once. So the brain that came down to you is the jumpy one, the descendant of everyone who flinched at the right shape and survived. The trouble is that you now live behind glass and screens, where the snake is almost never real. But the alarm never got the message. It still fires at full strength at a coiled rope, a garden hose, a photograph, a rubber toy left on the floor. This is what a phobia really is. An ancient survival alarm, stuck on, in a world that has quietly removed the thing it was built to catch. Fear of snakes and fear of spiders are among the most common fears people report anywhere, and they fire hardest at images, at zoo glass, at creatures that could not reach us if they tried. And because we no longer see the danger that once justified the alarm, we decide the alarm itself is broken, and we feel a little foolish for it, as if a racing heart at a photograph were a defect in character. But it is not a defect, and it is not irrational. It is a system working flawlessly on a threat that has mostly left the room. The crawl up your spine when you meet the snake is not your mind failing you. It is your mind doing exactly what it was shaped over 50 million years to do, in the one place where it has finally, mostly, become unnecessary. The fear is not too much. The world simply grew safer faster than your alarm could ever be retired. So, the next time a snake on a screen makes your skin tighten, do not be embarrassed by it. Listen to it instead. That reflex is a message passed down an unbroken line of survivors, every single one of whom flinched at the right shape in the grass and lived long enough to hand the flinch to you. You did not invent that fear, and you did not fail by feeling it. You inherited it, whole, from a world where a shadow in the leaves could end everything you were. It is not that you are afraid of nothing. It is that something in you is still standing watch over a danger your ancestors were never allowed to ignore. The fear is old and faithful, and it has simply outlived the thing it was built to save you from.